Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tarure Kachere and I'm the Kenyan vegan, and I wanted to do this video. I had promised to do this video actually about the juice fast that I just did. Well, now it's been a few days, and so what happened was I did the juice fast, and the day after I finished, I went out of town, and I went out of town for about a week, and where I wasn't able to shoot any videos, and so I just got back yesterday and shooting this. Yeah, so that's why it took a while, but thank you so much for still watching, and I have so much to talk about today. I hope I get it all done in a reasonable time so that I don't have to have like a 25-minute video. So let's just get into it. So yes, I did the juice cleanse, yay! And my gosh, I have so much to say about it, but it was amazing. I enjoyed the whole experience. One thing I will say, and I am so grateful to Joe Cross, that's the guy whose website I got the recipes for the juice from, because his juices are so good. I never felt like disgusted with any particular juice. Some of them were a bit harder, like during the juices that we have for lunch and dinner were green juices, and so of course there's like skuma or kale in the juice, and that for me, and celery, and that, you know, it was a bit harder to taste. The taste was a bit harder for me, but generally the juices were so good that I never felt like I was struggling to have my juice. And my sister said the same thing. My mom tasted some of the juices and she was like, oh my god, you guys, this is amazing. You know, even my niece had a couple of them, the sweeter ones. But I think that's so important, to have good tasting juices, because then the struggle isn't that hard. It's not that difficult. You're already going to be struggling with so many other things during a juice fast. Taste should not be one of them. So yeah, that was amazing. I would recommend the juices on his website to everybody, please. I'll even put the link. I'll put the link below for his website, and yeah, do it. So I shot a few videos during the whole juice fasting. I really wanted to try and upload last week immediately after the juice fast, but I mean, I just got so busy and I couldn't do it. But yeah, I'll show like a condensed version of all the videos together in a bit. Yes, and then so once I do that, then we can come back and talk about the challenges and the benefits and what the next step is for me. So here we go. Day one of the juice fast. Yes, so I started the day with a cup of warm water with ginger and lemon, and then this is the breakfast juice for today, which is carrot, apple and ginger. And because we don't have a juicer, I blended it and then sieved it. You can see the sieve over there. So I'm left with this pulpy thing here, carrot, apple, ginger mixture. I feel like I want to find something to do with it because I don't want to throw it. So this is my afternoon snack juice. This is pineapple, celery, I think there's some ginger in there, and some lemon and lime. It's so good. The afternoon snack juices are so delicious. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So today's been a kind of busy day, but the good thing that I did in the morning was I just made like a bunch of juices up until the afternoon snack, and then right now I'm getting ready to make the dinner and the dessert in quotes juices for tonight. Yeah, so this is really good. Not feeling so sluggish today. I think maybe my body's adjusting, I don't know. We made it. This is my last juice of the juice fast, and I am so excited. My body feels really good. Yeah, so this is like my dessert for day 3. This is grapes, watermelon, carrot and some orange juice, and it's so good. It's so sweet and just delicious, and I'm happy that this is what I am closing my juice fast with. Yay! I'm so excited, and I'm so proud of myself for holding on through these 3 days. Yeah, so that was just like a very brief overview of my 3 days. So what would I like to say about them? Yeah, so the first day was pretty difficult. I felt very sleepy, very lethargic, and I wasn't able to move around as much. And I got a headache at some points during the day, but all these are very normal detox symptoms. And then later on in the day, I had some diarrhea, but again, that's very normal. They say that, yeah, that's actually quite normal. And so the first day was pretty hard. The second day, one thing that made the first day also very difficult was that I was making the juices. I was the one who was making the juices with for me and my sister, and because I kept having to, you saw in the videos that we didn't have a juicer, and I wasn't going to wait to get a juicer to do this. I felt like I just needed to do this fast. So what I was doing was I was blending and then sieving the juice, and the blending doesn't take that long. It's fine, but the thing that would take long would be the sieving, because you really have to squeeze as much of the juice out as possible. Whereas with a juicer, it's just like, it's done in like seconds. But because of that, it was very intense to make the juice, and so because I was doing it like, now if we needed lunch, I'd start prepping like maybe 45 minutes before we were going to have the juice for lunch, and because of that, it was very tiring. So on day 2, which I mentioned in the video, I decided to do the juices, like a bunch of juices, up until like the afternoon, and then after that I did like the one now for dinner and for dessert. But yeah, that made it so much easier, because then I would have like time and space to do other things during the day, whereas day 1 it was basically like, I've just finished the juice and I'm chilling, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to go start making the next juice, very, very very intense. Yeah, so that was basically it. I felt weak for most of it. Towards the end of day 3 I felt much better, and I think that's just because my body was now adjusting. The cravings to chew food stayed pretty much throughout, but now on the day after the juice fast, I was eating a lot of raw food. I ate a few cooked things, but like nothing too dense, because I didn't want to stress my body out. But for the most part, I was raw, and then I continued with that for a few days, like eating cooked food mostly towards the end of the day, but during the day having lots of fruits and vegetables and fresh stuff. And this whole experience was so amazing for me, because in addition to feeling like, I feel like I have so much more energy now. In addition to feeling like I've reset my body, it feels like I also reset my mind and reminded myself of things that used to matter to me before, things that were important to me before. And I didn't even know that they were important. It's just like, as I explained in my first video, when I went vegan, I was living in a place which had an abundance of fresh food. And to remember that I used to have so much energy because I was eating all these live, whole plant foods. Because even when I wasn't eating the fruits and the vegetables, I used to have like salad all the time. But also the food that I was eating was very wholesome, the cooked food as well. Very little processed stuff. And so now that I've felt the difference of what it feels like to have a lot of processed things in your diet, and now coming back to a more whole plant food way of eating, the difference is so astounding to me. I'm just like, what was I doing? What the hell was I doing? But I don't have regrets. I explained the reasons why I was doing what I did, why I was eating the way I did, and I feel like it's really helped me deal with a lot of the food issues that I had in terms of restriction and guilt when it came to eating certain foods, and especially, you know, like desserts or like processed stuff, or because there was always that fear of getting fat, or even just sitting down and having like a really big potato meal, you know. I had to do that for myself to get over the anorexia that I struggled with, or the eating issues, the disorder that I had, you know, the starving myself just to be thin. And so I do not regret it, but now I feel like I can come into a healthier place with that, because I still don't want to restrict myself at all. But now, after the juice fast, there's this interesting thing that's happened, and that's I am more in tune with my body. I have intuition with my body. I am listening to my body, and I can feel when I need to stop eating and I've had enough, and I don't have to overstuff myself. And when I'm hungry, I will eat, and I don't feel guilty about eating anymore. I don't care about that anymore. When I'm hungry, I eat. When I'm full, I stop, and I make sure that what I'm eating is mostly whole plant foods, because that's what feeds my body and makes me feel so good. And so I had a sandwich during the week, and it wasn't that nutritious, but the way my body felt on it, and because I'm so in tune with my body now after the juice fast, because I feel like it became even more sensitive, or I connected to it, and the way I felt inside, I was just like, no, taste is no longer something that's more important to me than the quality of food that I'm putting in my body. Because if I can have delicious whole plant foods and put those in my mouth and they still taste good and they make my body feel amazing, then why am I wasting time on processed stuff that doesn't feel the same? I feel sluggish after I eat it. Very interestingly, I had a cup of hot chocolate the other day, and I almost had an instant headache. Like, it was, I just felt, no, this isn't good for me. And this wasn't like, because I've had raw you know, raw cacao powder before, raw chocolate powder, and that has never given me that issue. But this one was more processed, and so it just like, it did not agree with my body. And for me, that's like one of the most beautiful things that I've gotten out of this. I'm remembering what it feels like to listen to my body and give it what it needs. And that is coming into so many other aspects of my physical body, because it's just not what I'm putting into my body, it's also how I'm sleeping. It's also about what exercise that I'm doing. Is it something that makes me feel good? I started doing yoga, Kundalini yoga, and how spiritual it is, how connecting it is to my body, to my soul. And these three elements of myself, I feel like I'm coming back to a deeper connection with them, with my mind, my body, and my soul. And it's giving me so much fulfillment. And just by deciding to do this juice fast, this juice cleanse was like the catalyst that led me, in this very short time, it's been literally like a week since I finished it, and in just this week, the difference that I felt with my body and how I'm connecting with it is amazing to me. And so those are the changes that I know I'm going to continue making, you know, towards my diet, having more wholesome food. I'm also, generally I'm a good sleeper, although like the past month it hasn't been too good, the schedule, but I'm caring about that more, resting my body, moving my body, getting out and running, because I love to run. Running just is like the most natural thing to me. When I put on my shoes and I get out of the gate and I start running, and it doesn't matter because I haven't been keeping up with it like I did before, so I'm not at the level that I was before, but it's okay. Even if I run for 20 steps or even just for 10 minutes or whatever, I'm still doing something that feels so good for me. And that's what I took out of this. The most important thing is to take care of this vessel that's carrying me through this life experience, that's doing all these wonderful things for me, instead of working against it and putting poison into it, instead of straining it and destroying it. Let me take care of it, because then I'm showing gratitude for this life that I have. I'm showing gratitude for this amazing vessel that does its best to work with me no matter what I do to it. And another thing that kept coming to my mind was this quote that I read once: every time you're eating, you're either fighting disease or feeding it. And that has become so apparent to me now. So I am so glad that I did this. And I think I want to do a couple more juice fasts, and perhaps even longer ones in the future. Just right now, I just want to now enjoy the change that I've had, and maybe in a couple of months I'll see about doing another one. And I would recommend it completely, totally, to anyone. I think maybe the couple of tips that I would have for you if you want to do a juice fast. I just realized that my camera cut me off. My memory card was full and I didn't even realize it. So there's a bunch of stuff that I'd said, and let me get back into it. So I had told you that it's better to do the shopping before. Like, plan for that. Write your grocery list. Figure out the entire menu for the time that you're going to do it. And then, I mean, if you have a longer juice fast, then also organize the times that you would go, you know, shopping for veggies, because you can't keep them just like for 10 days, you know, without them spoiling. But organize, you know, your grocery shopping days, and not when you run out, when you still have enough to keep juicing. That's really important. Number 2 is, I would say, organize your juice fast, particularly if it's a shorter one. If it's a longer one, then you'll kind of figure out how to do it and it will fit into your life. But I would say do it around a weekend or something, so that way you don't have to be up and about doing all these, you know, errands or at work or whatever. But still, I mean, you can still do it and function. It's just that I feel like with rest, it's more beneficial. It's like if you can just kind of chill and not do too much, it would be better. I would suggest doing it with someone. Having my sister going through it with me was so good, because we could share experiences, you know, and it's just like a I don't know, like a connection. It's good to do it with someone, then you don't feel so alone, and then the temptation is not that strong, because at least, you know, you have someone you're in it with, which is good. And then when you have some symptoms, you would think that you're crazy. I mean, one of the things that me and my sister felt on day 1 was like a juice high. It was so hilarious. Like, it literally felt like we were high, but when I, you know, looked it up, they were like, yes, lightheadedness is actually a symptom of a detox. So yeah, if I had been by myself and I didn't know this, I'd have been freaking out, thinking I've poisoned myself somehow. I don't know. This has been such an important experience for me, and like I said, in so many different ways. And the thing that I would love to stress the most is to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. And with this little change that I did, this little 3-day thing that I did, I have even become more aware about other things that I need to change in my life. How I have to keep being gentle with myself. How I have to keep making sure that I'm taking care of myself. My health is my first priority. And it's no longer something that I can just mess around with. No, this is important. This is so important. And so it's my number 1 priority now. Taking care of myself is my number 1 priority. And I can do little changes here and there. I'm not 100% perfect with my diet yet. I'm still figuring things out. But for the most part, I've done, you know, like, I've made some steps. And that's what it is. Don't even worry too much about getting it perfect. Just start with something small. Sometimes I feel like we really stress ourselves out trying to be perfect. I mean, don't. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Start even if it's with just drinking more water. Like, as simple as that. If it's just having 1 more fruit than you usually do. If once in a while you decide, instead of having eggs and bacon and sausage for breakfast, you have a bowl of fruit. Just start there. Start there. But please start. This is so important, and the earlier that we start, the better. it is for us in the long run, the less damage that we will do for our bodies. But then again, it's never ever too late, ever too late. We can still reverse a lot of things. We can still heal a lot of things within our bodies by just starting to take care of ourselves. Thank you so much for being here. I can't stress enough how glad and how grateful I am that I get to share just this with you. This is like a dream come true for me, and so you being here, you're my dream come true. Anyway, so yeah, I will be posting a lot more, and I want to keep this video as short as I can, so please let me just end it here. Again, I will stress it. Take care of yourself. You deserve it. I got cut off again. Damn camera. Anyway, I was just saying, have a beautiful day, whatever it is that you're doing. I'm sending you love and so much light. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Love, guys.